Aside from being a poet and playwright, as stated earlier, Machiavelli has written books that are still read to this day. Some of his most well known books include The Prince. Written in 1513 and published in 1532, Machiavelli recommends that a prince go to the effectual truth of things and forego the standard of what should be done, lest he bring about his ruin. To maintain himself, a prince must learn how not to be good and use or not use this knowledge according to necessity. Machiavelli's theory was a discipline based on the actual state of the world as opposed to how the world might be. Another book that he wrote is called The Discourses on Livy. Published in 1531, it spoke about the renewal of classical political philosophy in Renaissance, humanism, and the establishment of the contemporary American Republic. He also asserts that to reform a public, it is necessary to be alone. Any ordering must depend on a single mind. The discourses on Levy showed Machiavelli in a republican aspect. However, he did not display traditional thoughts of a republican, which would be the usual power is safer in the hands of many than it is in the hands of one. He also argued that the factional tumults of the Roman Republic, which were condemned by many ancient writers, actually made Rome free and great. Another book, his actually longest written book, was entitled The Florentine Histories, which was also published in 1532. It was the longest piece of writing worked on by Machiavelli. The book ultimately revolves around the history of Florence. The setting takes place in a non historical context and displays a contest between virtue and fortune. Lastly, the one that I found most interesting was the book entitled The Art of War. It was published in 1521 and was one of only a few works of Machiavelli to be published during his lifetime. It is a dialogue set in Florence where humanists gathered to discuss philosophy and politics. It has achieved a prominent place in the history of writings on war.